Welcome to the Made in Monroe podcast. Today we've got Mark Kent Anderson with MidSouth Extrusion. Welcome, Mark Kent.
Glad to be here.
I appreciate you giving us your time today to tell us a little bit about your story within MidSouth, but really just the story of your company as a whole. Mm-hmm. So you're third generation.
Yes, third generation. Grandfather started the company back in 1986 with a few other investors, and we've been growing ever since.
So tell me how it grew from, so your granddad really this didn't sound like MidSouth was just, this plan that he had from birth. So how did he take it with some investors and then create it into what it is today that then your dad grew and now you're growing?
Yeah, so originally my grandfather was in the paper business and then he was in the banking business, and I think someone approached him for an investment idea in MidSouth Extrusion, and they ran with it, and then I think in time they saw how the business was doing well, and then my dad came into the business, and since then it's 100% family owned, and my dad has done a great job with the getting the right people in the right places, and we've had an amazing executive team led by Ron Mason, who's been our president for 30 years, Mike Hennigan and Ken Upshaw, who are executive vice president of operations, our CFO. And we've had a continuity of leadership for a long time. And through all of this, the downturn or the recession in 2008 and others, we're resilient, and we made it through those tough times. And now we're growing, I think, faster than we thought we were going to grow.
Right.
So, and then I moved back in 2017, and I was so excited to come back into the family business. And my grandfather's still alive at the time, so he got to pour into me, and then my dad. And instead of we just got to a point there, and I moved back and I saw a company that was on solid ground, and we had done all these things. But I was like, well, not many people know what we're doing on the south side of Monroe.
Right.
And I was like, I want to get that message out. We have such a great company. Our people are great. We need to start highlighting our people. And then with that, those are really my first efforts in kind of changing our branding and getting out in the community. And then also I started in a sales position and started calling on accounts and going to get new business, and really opened our eyes to new markets, and we've been doing pretty well since.
That really is just a great story of how your granddad started it, and then your dad, and then you coming back, and you really got to learn from the person who created this story from the beginning, and then your dad, and now you. So tell me a little bit about, I had the privilege of touring y'all's facilities yesterday, and I was blown away by what you guys do. I drive past it, have driven past it many times, have a general idea, but tell me, what is MidSouth Extrusion? What do you guys do? What do you specialize in?
Yeah, so we make plastic, but originally we started the company for the multi-wall bag industry, which would be the grease liner for the paper, the dog food bags or pet bags for the grease barrier in them. Right. And then we pivoted to what we like to call the comfort industry. And I tell people all the time, about 70% of the homes and apartments in the country, I would tell you that you either have something that was made on MidSouth Extrusion's plastic, reinforced by MidSouth Extrusion's plastic, or wrapped in MidSouth Extrusion's plastic all over the country. And I would even go as far as say North America. We're really big in the polyurethane foam manufacturing space, and polyurethane foam's in all your furniture, it's in all your mattresses, it's in all your cars. And we have a huge presence there in the manufacturing side of that, but we're also very big in the mattress and furniture side as well. So we're making all the mattress bags that you see when you buy a new mattress at home, or the furniture that you see that comes wrapped in plastic. We do all this. Who knew? So yeah, we did really well in those markets. We grew into the carpet industry. We some of the same vendors that you guys use. We grew in the actually carpet pad, so you see carpet in the country, and where you see it in all your homes and apartments, there's a piece of recycled foam pad under it. Yeah. Well, there's a piece of plastic laminated to all that pad, and we do all that plastic. So yeah, we make a lot of plastic, and we like to say, if you think of comfort, you should think of MidSouth Extrusion, because that's our core market, how we've grown our business over the years. But here recently, about 5 years ago, we got to a crossroads. And we're like, this industry's great, we're growing, we have the majority of the market share, but what if there's another downturn of 2008? Housing tanks. What do we need to do? So we decided with our executive group that we needed to diversify it into food packaging. So about 5 years ago, pre-COVID, we decided to do that. COVID, of course, slowed it down a little bit, but now we have our food packaging certification. So we're growing in food markets, which are a little more recession-proof, but also they diversify our portfolio. So if housing's down like it's been the last couple of years, well, we're growing in food packaging. So overall, we're continuing to grow the company. So we've had success doing that as well.
Well, and all of that right here in Monroe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that is right here in our backyard.
Yeah, like one of our coolest new applications, produce bags. So if you go in the store and you see the bags of potatoes or oranges, limes, lemons, and there's printed plastic on one side and that mesh bag on the other, that's our plastic. And we partner with one of our partners in South Texas, and we've grown a great relationship there. And they make tons and tons of produce bags, and also we're doing printed films for poultry packaging as well. So if you buy Tyson chicken or Sanderson Farms or those type chicken brands, where there's a good possibility that plastic's ours.
So MidSouth is just everywhere, is what you're saying.
Yes, I like to be everywhere.
You've covered the gamut. You've covered the gamut.
I mean, even our industrial accounts. I mean, we partner with some really big name brands that if I said them, you would know them, and we're shipping to 20 different plants around the whole country, whether it's Washington or Florida or California, where we have a presence with our truck fleet that we can get anywhere in at most 3 days. And we try to build stocking programs for those customers that may be a little bit further away, so they don't feel as if we're too far because we'll get it there in 3 days.
That's amazing. As a third generational leader, what does the future look like from your seat?
I was excited to come. I felt like I came home and we had a company that was on solid ground, and I just felt like we're at a point where we needed to grow it and kind of infuse a little bit of, I wouldn't say youth, but a little just
young blood.
Yeah, a little young blood and move people along a little bit. And that's what we've done. Shoot, I think in the last 5 years, we've grown our employment by 100 employees. We've grown our production by 40%. We've grown our campus we've doubled it from 170,000 square feet to over 350,000 square feet. For us, I think the future looks, we actually this week, and I think it's safe I can make the announcement now, we just pulled the trigger on 2 more production lines. So what you saw yesterday, we're actually about to redo one of our finished goods warehouses, and that's going to be our plant 3. So we'll have 3 plants on our campus in Monroe, and we're going to try to make that the state-of-the-art best film plant in the country, standalone. And we're excited about that growth. We're putting in 2 film machines. Historically, we've only put in 1 at a time, but the success of the company has afforded us to be able to put in 2 at this time. And we're targeting the food grade markets in which I spoke about earlier. And we just think that there's a lot of growth potential for MidSouth Extrusion. And my goal over the next 5 years is, we're sitting at about 220 employees today. I want to see that number at 400. I want to see our capacity grow from 14 film machines to 28 film machines. And luckily, we're at a crossroads 3 years ago. We're landlocked. What do we do? We only had 180,000 square feet or so, 170,000 square feet, and nowhere to go. So we're meeting with the mayor. We're trying to identify sites. I mean, we were talking about the airport, having another facility in Monroe, or did we need to put a place strategically in Tennessee or North Carolina, a business-friendly state somewhere else, to accommodate the growth that we wanted to achieve? And luckily, with the support of the mayor and others, and our executive team made a move on the Monroe warehouse that's south of us. So that building's 400,000 square feet, and we made a deal on the north side of 150,000 square feet, and it's right there on campus. So we're able to acquire that side of the building, and we connected it, and now we moved all of our finished goods that way, and our old finished goods warehouse, now we're going to put in production lines to continue to grow our family and grow Monroe. I mean, I'm so thankful that we are in historic South Monroe, and I feel like a beacon down there, and we take care of Barkdale Falk across the street. We love that. We love our community partners. And really, I tell you again, the confidence that we got from Friday, coming, meeting with us numerous times, and the support that he's shown, it made us feel really good about continuing to invest in Monroe.
So that kind of leads me into my next question. So you guys have been here since 1986. You could be anywhere in the country doing what you're doing. You just made mention of that you've looked at other spots, possibly Tennessee and some other locations, but you've chosen to stay planted in Monroe and to keep roots here. Why? Why Monroe?
We're family focused. I mean, I think we're family focused, we're community focused, and a few years ago when we're speaking about this, we're like, we think that we can achieve our 10-year goal in Monroe. We think that we can still do it here. We felt like the area was doing well, we had the right leaders in place, and really we're strategically located for our raw materials. We do business with all the major petrochemical companies, and all that comes out of the Houston, Baton Rouge, Lake Charles area. So, and we bring in all of our materials via rail. Well, we're really close to all those areas. So it's advantageous for us. And really, we're on I-20, and most of our products, I would say 70% of them go east and the other 30 go west. But being on I-20 allows us to get things on a truck and get them there in a timely manner. So, I think the community support and I think my grandfather was someone that poured his heart in this community. I think our family's always been here, and I'm one of those. I'm community focused. I want Monroe to be prosperous, and I feel like I'm responsible, have a little bit of responsibility for that. So we're going to be here. We're going to continue to grow that side of our business in Monroe, and down the road there might be a time where we have to, or our customers may demand that we need another location somewhere else. Maybe we can have another location in Monroe, or maybe we may have to go somewhere else. But the mothership will always be in Monroe.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
And it sounds like too, you've got so much focus on providing and giving back to the community, whether that's by jobs. I heard you say that right now you've got 200 plus, employees, and you'd love to grow that to 400 and 600. And so it sounds to me like your mindset is to continue to give back by pouring resources and even facility into this place, into this community, so that you can provide jobs for people and just great livelihoods for people that live here in this community.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, we're called to make a positive impact, and I want to impact as many people as long as I have breath in my lungs and God affords me that opportunity. I feel like I'm called to do that. And I just feel like we're so fortunate, our family's been fortunate, and we need to give back to the community. I was very thankful that our company has been successful, and we're in a situation where we can affect lives. And our people, I feel we had two of our crawfish boils. We have a company crawfish boil every year, and we have two because our shifts, we run 24/7, so we can't ever stop those machines that you saw.
Right.
So we had two employee outings around Memorial Day, and between those two, we had over 450 people come. And, we only have 220 employees, but they all have families.
It's families.
And it's so nice to see all their kids, their cousins. They brought whoever they wanted to bring, and more the merrier for us. We had it at American Legion Hall, and that was a great venue for us, and we had great crawfish and fun for the families, but to see the smiles on their faces, and that's just they do so much for us, and that's a little thing that we can do for them. But all in all, I just feel as if we have a community here that needs more companies to step up, and if we're growing, I feel like that's the impact that we can make on the community, and we're pouring resources into South Monroe, and we want Monroe to be as good as it can possibly be, and we're here for it. So.
One of the things my dad always told me growing up is if you'll take care of your employees, they will take care of you.
Absolutely.
It sounds like you guys are doing such a good job of that.
Absolutely. Well, we try to.
Well, I think y'all are. I think it speaks volumes just with the amount of people you have show up. And I don't think you ever realize that whenever you may only have 200-something employees, but they do bring families, and they bring their children, and their children are seeing parents that are happy going to work, that are making a living, doing something that they love, and it really does. I mean, it's kind of job security for you a little bit.
Well, yeah, and we love to make an impact on the family, because then, because look, we're all going to have bad days at work.
Absolutely.
And when maybe someone goes after a long day on the plant and they go home, but hopefully that family's there like, look, we know it's a tough day, but good company, and the company's giving back, and that's a company you want to be a part of. So we like to have the family as a whole buy into MidSouth Extrusion and what we're doing.
Well, as a young leader just in our community as well, what advice or what reason would you give to somebody for staying in Monroe and planting roots here and investing in our community?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's opportunities here for young people. I think we need to do a better job of communicating those opportunities, but I'm biased. Obviously,
Right.
I think we both are, but it's such a community-focused place. The people are second to none. It's the most convenient place on earth. I tell everybody,
It is.
like, y'all are, my gym's 2 minutes away. My office is right now.
grocery?
Yeah, my grocery store's right there. I mean, if I want to play golf, it's right there. Everything's close. And I just think that the quality of life here, especially with what the mayor's doing, the quality of life is improving in Monroe, Louisiana. And I think for a long time, people were, like the mayor likes to say, apathetic towards our area and just kind of like, it's just Monroe.
Right.
Well, I think we have a new generation of young leaders, and you see it in the Quentin Durrs of the world, you see it in the Etheridge boys, you see it in Matt Dickerson, you see it in a lot of Colby Weaver, you see it in a lot of people, or Colby Weaver Walker. I see it in a lot of different young leaders that this is a good place to be. And I think that all of us will need to continue to put that message out. And if we do, then other people will feel excited about staying here.
Well, I think it's a community that gave so much to us when we were growing up. And so as young people that are going to raise families here, I want to leave it in a better spot for my kids so that they want to have something to come back
Well, it's a great place to raise your kids.
It is. Well, why? Why would you say it's a great place
I would
to raise
say it's
your kids?
convenient. I'm a convenient guy.
Right.
But I think that just if you do have family here, like your girls get to see their grandparents all the time. It's just, I remember growing up and one of my set of grandparents lived on North 3rd. Well, I went to Grace Episcopal. So every day after school, I saw my grandparents on North 3rd. Well, then my other grandparents lived on Pargood. And I went and ate pancakes my grandmother cooked me every Saturday morning with them. So it's always had my family. And I just, growing up, it wasn't just my mom. We had help.
Right.
And I don't know, I love family, and I just think it's a good place to, if your whole family's here, it's certainly beneficial.
It is, and I think faith and family are so big in this area, and it's something that is just kind of instilled in you from such a young age.
Oh, absolutely. We, like you said, Faith, I mean, there's certainly a great group of people here, and we have so many great organizations and churches in our area, and we just have I'm excited to say I feel as if this area is on fire for Jesus, and it's great what he's doing in our area. And I don't know if you saw last night, but FCA had a big event at North Monroe Baptist last night, and Demario Davis was there, and it was a turnout of like 800 people. And it's just amazing what God's doing in our area. So I'm excited for it.
Well, there's exciting things going on in Monroe, but I'm even more excited after talking to you, getting to visit y'all's facility yesterday and then getting to talk with you today. I think there are only bright things ahead in your future and in turn for Monroe because of what you guys are doing here. So thank you.
Well, it's up to us.
Absolutely.
We've got to keep, put the pedal on the metal. And I would just say that always be looking to make a difference. And you don't know the people that you'll affect, but all of us are leaders. And no matter where you are in your walk or wherever you are in your job, there's always someone watching you. And be the Jesus that person sees every day. So,
well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anything that we didn't get that